What's up, guys? Pedro here, and on this video I'm going to show you how to make some really cool laser engraved signs like these right here using reclaimed wood. Coming up right after this. Welcome back. If we're just meeting, my name is Pedro, and on this channel we like to share just about anything DIY. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Let's get right into the video. Okay, so I got this wood from work. They were gonna trash it. Actually, they were burning some of it and throwing the rest of it in a dumpster. So I got some of it from work. I'm gonna mill it, sand it, plane it, do what I got to do to make it usable. Okay, so these are the boards I'm going to use for the signs because they are 5.5 inches wide already. So I just have to cut them to length, which is 9.5 inches. Okay, I'm going to sand this board down first, and then I'm going to cut it down to size. I'm going to go ahead and cut this end off because it's got all those staple holes, so I kind of did that for no reason, but it's okay. And the last sign I made was 9.5 inches long by 5.5, and this board's 5.5 inches wide. So I'm going to go ahead and measure and cut this at 9.5 inches and make a good sign. Okay, y'all don't make fun of my tape measure. It still works. I inherited this from my dad. He passed away last year. Actually, the anniversary of his death is November 5th, so it's right around the corner. Good thing I got a roof over me, huh? That should be the perfect size. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and stain it. And once the stain dries, I'm going to put a flat white paint over it. And then we'll laser engrave it, and then we'll scuff it up with some sandpaper and give it that distressed look. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm going to stain this real quick, but I'm putting some rubber gloves on, or latex gloves rather. Get those at any hardware store, of course. Put those on, roll up my sleeves, because if I get stain on this shirt, my wife will kill me. Uh-oh, I forgot to get something to open this with. I just got some dark walnut stain, which I'm going to stain this. It's going to be the base coat. I'll rub it on. I'm just using paper towels. You can use a rag if you want to. It doesn't matter really. Just going to rub it on there and then wipe the excess off. And once it dries, then we'll put a coat of flat white paint on it. I'll put some plastic down so I didn't get any stain on the wood these guys are working with. And some of that's that tricks stuff. So anyways, I'm just gonna dip my paper towels in there and rub it on there. I like that little knot in there. That gives it a little character. Of course, you won't see a whole lot of it the way I'm doing this. I'm gonna do the edges. Just get a nice good coat on there. Not really worried about the back so much, because that's going to be up against the wall, of course. Look how pretty that looks. Not bad for some scrap wood, huh? Look, I'm going to drop that there and get another fresh piece of paper towel and just wipe it down. Yeah, that looks pretty darn good for some wood that was going to be thrown in a dumpster or burned. They were going to burn it. Actually, they did burn some of it. I got some away from them. I actually saved this wood from them. They were getting ready to burn it, and I got some of it. That looks pretty nice. So we're going to let this dry, and then I'll put a coat of flat white paint on it. Okay, now it's time to take this to the laser engraver. I'm not going to go into too much detail because everybody's got different lasers, so on and so forth. It's not really about the laser, it's about the process. Okay, so today we're using a D1 by X tool. It's a model D1 by X tool. Pretty popular laser. I got this one off of Amazon. I'll put a link to it in the description below. Okay, for those of you who don't know, this is a picture of my dad. He passed away just over a year ago. I think he has or had more hobbies than I do. But well, let's do this. I'm going to open up the XS or XCS, which is the X Tool Creative Space. We'll open this up. And I've already actually created the file, so I'm just going to tell you how I did it. I'm going to open it up here. File, open. And this is the file. This is what we're going to be engraving on this sign. It's two different texts, and this software doesn't, or two different fonts, I should say, and this software doesn't allow you to do two different fonts in the same text box. So what I did was I made two text boxes, and I put what I wanted in each one, and then I grouped them together. And you can do that. You can see it's two different boxes here. Let's see, where's the grouping thing at? Right here, there you can tell they're grouped because it has the option to ungroup. You can ungroup it. And now it's ungrouped, and you can move it around. Let's see. Whoops. Let's do this. There. Now they're separate. They're two separate ones. But anyways, I want to keep them together because I got it sized just how I want it. I'm going to group them back together. What you would do is just hit this text button over here, draw you a box, or put you a, whoops, let me do this again. Put a box down here, type in what you want to type in, which I've already done. And then you can size it to whatever you want. Now it's in millimeters. You do have the option to change it to inches, but everything I'm doing lately is in millimeters. So let me delete this real quick. I'm gonna find that delete button. There we go. All right, so yeah, I do a lot. I have done quite a bit of 3D printing too, and it's all in millimeters, and you don't have the option for inches. So anyways, the sign, like I said before, is 9.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And what I've done, I used Siri and just asked her the dimensions to convert millimeters or inches into millimeters. 9.5 inches is actually like 241.3 millimeters, and 5.5 is 139.7. But I want this to have somewhat of a border around it on the sign, so I've made it smaller. I made it 220 inches wide, or excuse me, millimeters, and 120 inches tall in millimeters. Let's see, that would give me about 20 millimeters top and bottom. Excuse me, and 220. It'll give me about 10 millimeters top on the top and 10 millimeters on the bottom as well. I may make it. Actually, I think I'm gonna make it even smaller than that. I'm gonna lock this together, the ratio together, and I'm gonna change that to 210. And it automatically changed the width. Actually, here it's considered the height. It automatically changed the height on it. So, anyways, we're ready to process this thing. Over here, you got the power. Your engraver is going to be different, probably. It depends on what kind of engraver you have. I'm gonna go ahead and set. I'm real new to this, so just bear with me. I'm new to this, but anyways, I set my power at 100% and I set my speed at 80. And I've already done one of these testing it, and it worked perfectly. So hopefully this will work as well. Okay, so you also have to choose whether you want to score it, engrave it, or cut it. It will cut up to, I think, 5 millimeters. I know for sure 3 millimeters, but it'll cut up to 3 millimeters for sure. But we're engraving today, and I want to make sure it's a fill, and it says flat. Let's see, you have options here. Cylindrical, extension, laser, flat is what I need here. I know there's a place. Let me see what it says here. Nothing. Score. No. I want it to engrave. That way it does all the inside of the letters and all. If you put it on cut, it does like that, and it's like the border of the letters. So we're going to hit engrave, and I'm going to process this. What I want to do, we're going to go to the laser in just a second here. Oh, we got to turn the laser on first. How about that? And connect the device. It's going to be a little bit noisy. That laser is pretty noisy, actually. And that's the device that we're using. So now it's connected. New firmware version is recommended. You update this version. Oh, man. No reminder for 3 days. Let's go ahead and update it. Shoot.
Okay, so the software is updated and we're ready to roll.
So I've got this set. I'm ready to process this. This is going to be my sign. Process. Whoops, I need to connect. Okay. I have to turn the laser on. It's going to get a little noisy because that laser is noisy, and then I got to connect it. And then I'll process it. So the laser is on. It's showing that it's connected there. Now if I hit the process button, it'll pull this screen up. Now you can move, I'll show you in a minute, and I'll probably try to put it up the screen together, put the two screens together. But here's your origin here. So I want it to start in the upper left hand corner of my object here, my project. And this, you can change this if you need to adjust it minorly where the laser hits. You can use these buttons to move it, and that 20 millimeters is a lot, so I usually change it down to 2 if I need to make some minor adjustments to the framing. Anyways, I'll put a video up at the same time. Okay, before we start engraving, we're going to do 2 things. Number 1, we're going to put the laser at the correct height from the project. You do that by flipping that little guide down. Then there's a little lever right here on this particular model, and you drop the laser down until the guide hits, and then you tighten that little lever back down, and then you can lift that back up, and you've got the correct height. Now we're going to frame it. Okay, now that we got the height correct, turn the laser on. You can see the crosshairs pretty much where it's going to start at in the framing process, and you can adjust that with the software, but you get it approximately where you want it. Then you hit the framing button, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna go around the project in the frame of the project, and you can line it up. Just keep adjusting it until you get it exactly how you want it, and then you can start the engraving process. But you go to framing, and then you have to hit this button right here, and the laser will move in the frame the way you have it adjusted on the computer. And you have to move your laser around or move your project around until it is lined up the way you want it. Now if it didn't line up right the first time, you can just hit that button again and it'll do the framing again. Just move your project or the laser, whichever you want, and see, it does it again. And you can keep doing that until you get it just right, which I've actually already done. You can tell it's pretty close to where I want it right there. It's where I want it right there. So anyway, so now I've got it framed. We'll hit the framing complete button. Now you go to your start button on your computer and you hit start, and make sure you are wearing eye protection. Another thing before I hit start is, I don't have this enclosed right now, but I plan on building a box around it and putting an exhaust fan on it, because I will tell you, you do not want to breathe the fumes that are coming from the project while it's engraving. It smells really bad, and it will give you a headache if you stand around it. And anyways, I usually put a fan on it right now, but like I said, I'm going to build a box and an exhaust fan for it. But anyways, let's hit start. And hit this button right here. Okay, it's done. This is how it came out. Oh, kind of hard to see it like that. There you go. Came out pretty good. I just have to sand it down a little bit, maybe even put a torch to it, and put the hardware on it. So the sign came out pretty good. I made a bunch of these signs with different sayings, so on and so forth. I actually did some with a different process as well, which I'll do another video and show you guys that process. I did some refrigerator magnets too. They came out pretty cool. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button and share it if you're so inclined. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Until next time, God bless. Y'all take care.